Now I'm standing behind this podium, so we can give you an example of what it is like to light something with front lighting using shutters and not using shutters. In other words, controlling the light or not controlling the light and spilling onto something such as these chairs to the left and right when we may not necessarily want them lit up. So now that we have ascertained our barrel size, where do we hang this? Well, ideally we want to be hanging this light at approximately a 45-degree down angle and coming in from the left and right sides at approximately 15 to 45 degrees, depending on the application. When focusing the front light, or all lighting for that matter, we really want to be starting in darkness. We are going to be adding our first light, which will be our key light. This light is providing the main light on the subject, or the dominant light source. The key light will be the main shadow caster and will create the darkest shadows that we will want to eliminate using the fill and the rim lights. Once we have set the key light, we will hang and focus our fill light. The purpose of the fill light is to extend and soften the illumination of the key light. This light will be placed generally at an opposite angle of the key light. The fill light can be adjusted in brightness to simulate secondary points of light, such as a lamp, or reflected or bounced sources of light. Once we have achieved the desired key and fill light, we will hang and focus the rim or the rear light. The purpose of the rear light is to cast light on the subject from behind to create highlights around the edge of the subject to help visually separate the object from the background. Just like the fill light, we can adjust the brightness of this to achieve the desired effect of backlight, highlights, silhouettes, or an even field of light to simulate even lighting all around the subject. For today's demonstration, we are going to set our levels to simulate an even field of light all around the subject, as if we were setting the lighting for a keynote speaker, such as me standing here at this podium. Now, so far, I have lit my subject, well, which is me, using only the light itself. I will now demonstrate how shutters and barn doors are useful when achieving your light focus. For the front light, if we had some sort of set piece that I was using for a backdrop and had it lit up with a floor light, I might not want the front light to spill, as we call it, onto the set piece, as I would defeat the effect of the lit piece because the front light would wash it out. For today's example, we will use chairs set up in a pattern on the stage, as if there were secondary personnel on the stage that we do not want lit up because we want the focus to remain on the podium. By using the shutters in the Leko, I can carve the light off of the chairs so we do not light up any unwanted subject matter while still lighting my podium effectively. Shutters are particularly useful to control the light and cut off unwanted areas of light. This would apply to both the key and the fill light. For the rear light Fresnel, we want to use the barn doors to also control the spill of the light by using a combination of both zoom and barn doors. Because Fresnels are primarily used for soft edge lighting, there are no internal shutters to control the diameter of the light like a Leko. We will use the barn doors to control the spill or mask the beam. In a rear light situation, we want to use the barn doors to primarily control the spill onto the eyes of the audience or the cameras. Because rear light is casting light from behind, the light will continue on past the shoulders of the subject and potentially onto the audience if they are in the beam angle of the light. We will defeat this by moving a barn door down to cut off the top of the projected light. So when utilizing all three of my light sources, I have now succeeded in lighting this podium and myself using three-point lighting. Please keep in mind that most of this Technote has been on three-point lighting, and my example has been more focused on a single area. In upcoming Technotes, we will discuss lighting a wider stage area, such as 40 or 50 feet wide, and utilizing the lessons today to effectively do that, as well as create the lighting for specific zones on that stage. Also, please keep in mind that we will be discussing in further detail options such as color correction filters, diffusion gels to help with color temperature. This is particularly important when lighting for camera. These assets will help when considering ambient light around your stage, but that's a lesson for another day.